back and forth
Yeah, a
or
little
stepping?
bit. Just a little stepping.
Woo! Is it like this?
Yeah,
or
that's
is
it. Yeah.
All right, ready?
That's it.
Here we go.
Woo!
Welcome back to another Fostering Communication Beard series. Today we've got Brandon joining us.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
That's
pretty good.
Did I do it?
That's
Is
pretty
that
good. I liked it.
Is that good?
That was a good entrance.
Our beard edition.
Yeah, it's like a Ric Flair entrance.
Beard. Mr. Brandon Brinkley here with his beard.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be able to come on this side of things and talk a little bit and tell you different things about me and my life and what's going on, and just happy to be here.
Well, obviously, I know a lot about you and your life.
You do.
This is letting the other people know
That's right.
about you and your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like this over here.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That was a good night moment.
I guess that would be December 23.
23. Yeah.
But my wife has been giving me crap about that every single year. It's like, why do you do it so close to Christmas?
Yeah.
And I try and tell her, I'm like, well, we need as much financial data as humanly possible to be able to project the next year. And now she thinks we just go out there and have fun. Because of pictures like this.
Yeah, absolutely. My daughter.
But that was at Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's.
Right?
Yeah. I remember getting the text
Team
message.
Ramrod.
That's right. I remember my daughter texted me that night when we were eating. She said, "Dad, are you at Dave and Buster's?" And I said, "Yes, honey." And she said, "Please win me a stuffed animal." So, yeah.
Did you do it? I don't remember you getting a stuffed animal that night.
I did. I won her a stuffed animal in the claw and took it home, and that was the exciting moment for my 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Success. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so how's Brandon? You doing good, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on. Inside work, outside work. Things have been fantastic. Called that is growing tremendously. What a great place to work. I think earlier they called me kind of the old dog, just been here a while. But just over the growth in the years have been fantastic here.
All right, well, let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah, let's do it.
How in the world did you get into the trade?
Oh, man. So about 14 years ago, I was doing apartment maintenance. And I basically worked for a small place in Durham, North Carolina.
This is something you got into right out of school?
Right out of school, just jumped right into it. I was going to school at night a little bit for heating and air, and how that got started, I'll back a step up there. Well, my wife knows a lot about heating and air, but my father-in-law did heating and air. He had his own business, and he got up in some age where he was teaching it at Florida State University. And he told me one day at one Christmas function or family get-together, he said, "Man, I'm proud of you for doing apartment maintenance. Why don't you focus on one trade,
Yeah.
And I said to myself, well, what would I do? I like messing around. Like I can paint and I can fix refrigerators. I can do a lot of stuff. And he said, man, heating and air is where it's going to be. People are not going to go without it. I can see a big thing for the future with that. And so I buckled down and went at night supporting wife and young kids. And I take a quick shower and go to school at night, 6 to 9, a couple of days a week. And that was amazing. I went there for 2 years.
Yeah. This is the father-in-law you had this conversation with, right?
Yes.
And were you married at the time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have kids at the time?
Yes, sir. I had my oldest son, Chase, and my daughter, Alea, at the time.
Yeah.
They were 7 and 4.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
And for me, I was grinding, working.
Were you happy at work?
I was content.
Yeah.
I was, had not found my place yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I was wanting to be a provider.
You were fine, but you knew it wasn't where you wanted to be or what you wanted
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it paid the bills.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then after that, getting my degree, I said, what do I do? And he, of course, father-in-law said, hey, I used to work for a local company in Durham. I'll get you set up and you'll start doing maintenances, and that's how I got my feet wet and started, and kind of took off from there and potentially got really good at it kind of quickly. I was always really good with my hands. My dad and grandfather were car mechanics for the last 30, 40 years, had 2 businesses in Chapel Hill near Tar Heels campus. And, I liked cars, but I had to mingle with cars or mingle with working with my hands and customer service.
Yeah.
And with cars, you had that a little bit. But for me, I loved the satisfaction of taking care of a customer face to face. That was huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
All right. You bring up Tar Heels.
Yeah. I
don't even know if we've ever talked about this. Are you a Tar Heels fan?
Big Tar Heels fan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in my family. Multiple generations.
Yeah.
My grandfather had one gas station right in downtown Chapel Hill, and from Eric Montross to Rasheed Wallace used to come in and get their cars worked on.
No kidding.
I got all their autographs and met them at a young age. It's awesome.
Father-in-law has a conversation with you.
Yeah.
You started doing maintenances out of the gate, right?
Yes, sir.
This small family business?
It was just a property management kind of that handled apartment maintenance.
Yeah. So you stayed at the same company, but you shifted from general maintenance to HVAC maintenance?
Well, no. So I did apartment maintenance for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
So and every year that company would get bought out. And they would actually, believe it or not, they would release everyone but me. It's because I knew the grounds and had the dedication of what I was just eager to learn. And I was so multi-versed there. It explains a lot now for me. But and they just kept, believe it or not, every year I would get a small raise. And if a customer renewed their apartment maintenance contract for another year there, I got a little extra pension. So it was really cool. But in the end, I knew my focus was heating and air. I said, this is where I want to go. And I worked on heating and air there. So,
what do you mean when you say it explains a lot for me now?
I'm so multiverse now here at Call Dad. Explains a lot for me for what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the opportunities you guys have given me here and what I've done with it to see where it could go and the progress that it's made.
Yeah.
I mean, the first year that I took over Raleigh with Matt Stewart and took everything together, I think we did it was like a 415% growth.
Yeah.
So
you've just always been somebody that had ability to apply whatever skill set to whatever's needed at any given time.
And give it all you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you make the transition to the trade full on?
So
how did that happen?
Yeah, so basically after I graduated from getting my degree in heating and air, I went over to a small company, Lee Air Condition out of Durham, and I was a maintenance guy there.
Yeah.
And that was full on 6 days a week, learning the trades, and I had my father-in-law in my pocket.
Sorry to interrupt, but was the actual program that you graduated from, was that the prerequisite to you applying, or that was your own, like you didn't apply until you got it?
I didn't apply till I got it because I wanted to make sure I had enough. Yes, I didn't want to go in blindsided, not knowing the trade.
Yeah.
At that time, you're talking 14, 15 years ago, you wanted to know a little something. Now, I had my father-in-law in my pocket for many years. Phone a friend. And he was my go-to. Man was a genius, a Dwight of Call Dad. You know what I mean? He just knew everything about installation and service. And being very transparent with you, he's the reason that I gained such a quick traction.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course 9.5 years as a service tech, serving customers. They were Brandon onlys, and then even to the point of being here for year 4, I think year 4 or 5 here now. Same thing here. I mean,
now you were just at service tech for how long? Because didn't you do install too?
I was like a hybrid.
So
basically at the 2 companies previous, actually 3 companies previous, but I basically was like a hybrid. So I would run service calls in the morning, starting my day off at 7:38 a.m.
Yeah.
And then if I got done early with my day, I would say, hey, what can I do, boss? Whatever you need me to do. And he'd say, well, it was kind of slow at the moment. Maybe depending on what the day looked like, you're called up, you're done. Go help the installers for the rest of the day to make your time. I was eager to learn, so I kind of did both, there for quite a while, like 2 years of straight hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was funny when I first got into this industry and bought Sky, right? Mike Huff, who kind of taught me the trade, the hands-on aspect of the trade and understanding the business. from having nothing right when I got into it. His response was always, "We do HVAC," right? So there was no such thing as a service tech, as an installer. Sure. It was like, we do HVAC.
All of it.
Yeah. Do we install hood vents? We do HVAC.
I like it.
Now, it ends up getting you in trouble
yeah.
to a certain point, which is why we have made a lot of the changes that we've made to go very, very niche in what we do in our skill set.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it seems like a lot of people take that approach of, you're getting into HVAC, you're going to learn everything about HVAC. It doesn't matter whether it's service, install, whatever it is, you're doing it all.
Yeah. What's the beautiful thing about this trade? Because there's always room to grow, right? I mean, every day, if you're not learning, you're not living. I mean, I remember my dad telling me that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that is one beautiful thing about this trade, that you're always learning.
Yeah.
And if you ain't learning, you're not growing.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. All right. Tell me day one of Sky.
Oh, man.
Now, to set the stage.
Okay.
Right? Okay. We, at the time, Sky was 2 locations, recently had transitioned to 3 locations, I believe, correct?
That's correct.
And did we have Charleston?
We did not.
Did not have Charleston yet. The way that we opened up in Raleigh, North Carolina, was via another business of mine, which was a residential single-family property manager.
Correct.
And Sky was doing a lot of the service work for that property manager. We don't do that work anymore.
Sure.
But back then, that was what we used to get into Raleigh.
Yep.
We had some difficulties finding a manager in Raleigh.
Yeah.
So we kind of had, again, this conversation in and of itself could be like a 3-hour conversation of how we structured these things. But we had this position that was called operations coordinators, and they were kind of, maybe pseudo office manager, GM type role.
Correct.
And then we had location managers and all this type of stuff. But Raleigh was this redheaded stepchild kind of situation where it was managed by Matt Stewart, who Matt Stewart at the time was the Charlotte LM,
correct,
effectively, right?
Correct.
But he was the first kind of RM, if you will, managing multi-locations before that was even a thing. And Matt and I joke, there's not a role in this business that neither of us have worn the hat of at some point. But you came in so that you could alleviate that function that Matt was performing at the time as a remote manager of Raleigh. So you stepped into the LM position in Raleigh in 2000. What, that would have been like 21-ish?
21-ish?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the stage.
That's the stage here.
Remotely managed employees. OC who thought that she was running the ship.
Oh, my goodness.
And then in comes Brandon Brinkley, new Raleigh location manager.
Yes.
I'm sure that day one was awesome.
Day one was interesting, Matt. I knew...
Interesting seems to be the descriptor of the day.
It is.
A few people who have described stuff as interesting.
It was very interesting.
Not the word that I would have chosen for day one.
Yeah.
But I'm sure people will get why I say
yes. So, to furthermore that, basically, Matt, starting out at day one there, I knew there was something special here, right? Even with Sky and meeting with you and meeting with Matt Stewart, and it felt important.
Yeah.
I had 4 opportunities, and I chose Sky.
Yeah.
And I said, there's something here. This guy believes in me. I knew something was something special, and I said, I'm going to give everything I got. So day one hit, and walking in, introducing myself to one installer and one service tech and an OC at the time who was running this little 200 square foot space. I introduced myself, and it didn't go so well. So I kind of came in guns blazing and said, listen, this is the way it's going to be. I had all these great ideas that I wanted to bring to the table, and I wanted to really put my stamp on Raleigh.
Yeah.
And being very transparent with you, Sarah, which I'm sure you've heard about this many times, but everybody quit on me in the first week.
Yeah.
I lost the OC coordinator, and I also lost the service tech and the installer in the same day. Knowing who I am as a person and my background, I quickly said, you know what, I'll do it all myself. And the very next morning, with guidance and self-perseverance there, I stepped it up. I went in, I handled all my admin in the morning. I ran service calls. I helped, book an install. I was getting out there trying to do it myself. So there, until I was able to hire the right team that was going to be fit for Raleigh.
Man, I'm sitting here, I hate to say it, but I'm like grinning at you.
Yeah.
Because I remember a conversation that we had, I don't know whether it was after everyone quit or very shortly thereafter. And I think I said to you, like, hey, you go through these hard times only to get to the good ones. And there will be a day where we look back and say, man, that was a fun ride, but it shaped us into who we are today.
Totally agree.
I don't think I've ever called you on that, but been like, how do you feel now? But I'm grinning at you because seeing all the success that you're having now, knowing, and we're going to get into some of this stuff, but knowing everything that you're doing for your family, all the projects that you're working on that side, to know how low you were on that day at that period of time. But you never had a bad attitude towards it. But I know that deep down, you probably got home and you were like, holy crap, what did I get myself into?
To answer that question, there was some moments of, I've got to hang in there for this. Because I knew there was something special here.
Yeah.
I always did. I mean, the first time I sat down with you and Stuart, and I knew something was special here. And I said, I've got to hang this in. Me and my wife had several conversations.
Yeah.
But yes, to be honest with you, I like to use the word optimistic because that's how I was, very optimistic. But I wanted to fight. Yeah. I wanted my stamp on what Raleigh was and what it is, how beautiful it is today. Every location. But I feel like I at least left my stamp there, which is huge.
Yeah. I mean, we knew that we put you in a difficult position, right? And I have this conversation whenever we put people into difficult positions, even today, that I probably should have had with you, although I didn't, because we knew that it was going to be a difficult. But it's that whole, like, I can't remember what they call it, but it's like butt down, feet up. Whenever you're whitewater rafting, if you fall out of the raft, get your feet up out of the water.
That's right.
And the point of that is so that you don't get your foot stuck on a rock, because most people's inclination is immediately to try and stand up or catch your feet on the ground so you can stand. You don't have to swim. And what happens is you get your foot stuck on a rock and it drags you under. And the reason I use that analogy with management is when you come into a situation where you don't have any control and you try and assert control, especially in management positions, your foot's going to get stuck on rocks.
A lot.
Like, it's guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
And you came in there and immediately tried to stand up and that foot.
First, boom. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Wilson. Wilson, I'm sorry.
But the reality is, like,
it was a learning process.
Dude, I don't think you could have kept your feet high enough out of the water to not catch a rock in that scenario, to stick with that analogy.
I agree.
So it was a crappy situation. I told you that it was going to be a crappy situation, but you stayed optimistic throughout the whole thing. And you ended up building, you mentioned incredible growth that you had, but you ended up building a pretty cool team in pretty quick, short order.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think for the time given and what I was eager to learn, I just kept it optimistic. I did day by day. I knew we were going to grow, and I wanted to make my stamp on Raleigh. There's a lot of focus when you're doing different things and growing the brand and doing what we were doing. And I said, listen, if I'm going to do anything, when you think of Raleigh, you're going to think of, man, it's kicking off, good. So for me, I wanted to make sure. So I put blood, sweat, tears into that role, and I think it was good for both of us, or good for Call Dad / Scott at the time, and good for me because I needed that growth. I needed to learn that side that I didn't have. I can go fix an air condition, I can go help install one. But as far as that side of it, I didn't know, and learning numbers and spreadsheets and having budget each month, it was a learning curve for me.
I never said this to you, and it's not something that I really thought about a lot until way more recent history. But as you know, we stopped doing service for the property management business.
Yeah.
And looking back on it, I mean, you kicked ass.
Thanks.
With regard to taking care of them to the tune of, I don't think that there's anyone else in the organization that could deal with property management the way that you did.
Appreciate it.
Right. Which is part of the reason, probably one of the main reasons that we ended up shutting it off, is that whole, like, we built a very specific Willy Wonka machine to deal with residential service customers.
Yeah.
And anyone who's ever dealt with property management companies knows they are not a residential customer.
Correct.
And I say thank you, but I also say sorry, because thank you for dealing with it and doing such a good job the way you did with that.
Thank you.
But sorry, because looking back at it, dude, it held you back. And I feel bad for that, because not only did it hold you back, but it held Raleigh back in the long term.
Sure.
Because we were so busy dealing with the needs of a majority property management based customer base.
Yeah.
That the opportunity, like people talk about opportunity cost, the opportunity cost of not being able to grow, the retail side of the business, which is just the straight up bread and butter residential customers. You never got that opportunity because you were so busy taking care of, so we never had the capacity to service.
Sure.
And when you don't have the capacity to add, you never get the capacity to continue to grow. So this is my long way of saying, thank you.
You're welcome.
No one else could have done it that way, but also I'm sorry, because long term, I think it did hold Raleigh back. And you said it, like, Raleigh's doing great now.
They are. I think it was a mile. I mean, I appreciate that as well, but I also think it was the impact that I made at least got us to the steps of where we are now.
Oh yeah.
For Raleigh, so hands down.
Yeah.
It was that notch that maybe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I talk about that with Sky, when I got into Sky, and I felt duped with regard to how much new construction the business was.
Sure.
Like, I was upset at the time, right? But if I didn't go through that, I probably wouldn't know a lot about this industry that I now know.
Yeah.
Same with you and everybody quitting week one, right? Like, it sucked.
It did.
There were some terrible things. Could you have done it differently and maybe save some of those people? Probably not.
No,
maybe strung them along a little bit,
yeah.
But ultimately that led you to develop into the leader that you became, right?
It did. I think it grew my management skills. It taught me things inside of the business that I had no idea, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest with you. It's a beautiful thing. It was a kind of a tornado.
You learned humility very quick.
Yes, I did. I learned that humility very quickly. But I'm proud of those moments because they made me of who I am now.
Yeah.
So,
There's some really cool stuff.
Definitely.
All right. Talk to me about transition from, anytime I get somebody that's been here from Sky days, I always love to hear perspective on transition from Sky to Call Dad.
Gosh. Absolutely.
What was that day like for you? What are these crazy lunatics up to now?
No, I'll never forget the day that, you guys went on, we all came in and, you did that rebranding and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I felt the electricity and I'm not kidding you, Matt. It was beautiful.
Without further ado, we are introducing to you Call Dad.
I knew we were going somewhere. I knew it. It was almost like a reassurance thing for me. And that's just for me. I was like, this is by far the best place I've ever served customers. I mean, just being honest.
Yeah.
And I knew it could do nothing but continue to go up. For me, it was exciting, exhilarating. And believe it or not, as we did that, I was still kind of in the manager role, but I was in between a little bit of a transition.
Yeah.
But we knew we had growth coming. We knew we had what we were doing and what we were focusing on. And what I feel like for me was that was a stepping stone to where we are right now.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
So kind of like a birthday you don't forget. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? You're like, wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, I know you were there. You were there for the pre-reveal because we wanted to get managers, and so you saw me do that.
I did.
So you got to really kind of see it twice.
Yeah.
but as earlier I said, thank you for your support through that. And
yeah, man. For sure.
Not that other people weren't passionate about it, but you took it in more stride than some others.
Hey,
it was almost like you were fired up about it.
I
from
did
day
definitely.
one. Yeah.
For me, it's excitement, it's growth. I knew what Sky and what the team and where we were already about.
Yeah.
And I knew the support that was given to me from you and from Stuart and from Derek and from everybody. And so I said, well, this sky's the limits here. We're going to a different level.
Yeah.
So I was ready. And I already knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I had that support, I was all in.
Yeah.
I was all in.
All right. Can you do me a favor?
Absolutely.
Transitioning to next question here.
Okay.
Can you give me a new sale response when that buzzer goes off after you sold something? What do we typically get out of Brandon? Because I've heard it a few times.
Like a woo! You talking about like that?
That was reserved.
Yeah, that was a little reserved. Yeah.
I've heard, it's funny, like everybody who's ever spent some time, Miss Barb, would be in the Raleigh office. And she'd be like, I don't know if I can work here because every 15 minutes Brandon's over there going,
woo! yeah, definitely.
the old Ric Flair.
Ric Flair and, the little dance.
Before this thing ends.
Yeah, a little jiggle there.
A little sales shimmy.
It's what I love to do.
Yeah.
I get excited about taking care of somebody.
Yeah.
I've always been like that.
Yeah.
I'm a high I. I mean, that's my personality.
Yeah.
My family at Call Dad's the same as my family at home.
Yeah. So you're now running inside sales.
Yeah.
In phone sales.
Yeah.
Right? That was a long progression. It wasn't like you went from day one from being Raleigh location manager to closing all these phone sales. It was a long progression.
It was.
Was it a hard progression?
It was some training involved, and transitioning. I believe for me to be in the customer service that I like to give, in person's always easier.
Mm-hmm.
Building trust with people over the phone can be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So for me, I had to do a lot of praying, thinking about it, some training there on that side. So the transition wasn't just smooth, but once again, I like challenges. So for me, I said, well, I'm going to give it all I got. And I just put my heart into it. And
I don't even mean the aspect of talking to customers on the phone. I mean the aspect of moving into sales. Was that in and of itself complicated?
No.
Moving away from, being on the tech side, being on the people support?
Not at all. Because it's all HVAC related.
Yeah.
So for me, that transition was pretty smooth for me. I mean, I still get from time to time a phone call from a technician here at Call Dad that says, hey, I'm running across something. You were the first one I just thought about. I'd love to ask your opinion on while I'm here. Back to what I was saying earlier about being so multiverse.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here to win. We want to take care of the customer at whatever cost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of the problem that we see with people that spend so much time in the field is sometimes it's hard to make that progression into the office.
Yeah.
Because you always run back to your comfort zone. And your comfort zone, whether you like it or not, or whether you ever admit it, is being in that home.
Yeah.
Right? And dealing with that customer. That was kind of where you were raised up.
Correct.
So I'm glad that it was an easier progression than what you...
I miss it. I mean, I guess I miss it from time to time.
Yeah, but you also get to talk to tech still all the time.
I love it. It's rewarding to help the customer.
Yeah.
Help the technician. You feel like you've accomplished something for the day. And every now and then I get to get out. Every now and then, which is good.
Yeah.
It's good.
They let you out?
Let me out from time to time.
Oh, man. We're going to have to... Can you make a note of this?
Yeah.
Because I got to go back and deal with that.
Yeah. Every now and then. I love it.
All right. What do you love most about your job right now?
Representing Call Dad every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something special. Always has been to me. Nobody's doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Not one company.
Yeah.
And that's something very special to me.
Yeah.
And the camaraderie and what we have here is like no other.
Yeah.
It's good. Feels good.
Yeah. You've always said that to me from very early on, but that aspect of like nobody's doing what we're doing.
They're not.
And it kind of is special to feel, I want to say like that we're more special than anybody, but what we are doing is different.
It's different.
Yeah.
I just believe that in my mind that everything that we touch is something special. And are we going to make mistakes like other companies? Sure we are.
We're going to make more mistakes than other companies. The difference is that we fix them faster.
We do.
Right.
And that's the best part.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Families, look, think about your family at home. We, as a family, you make mistakes. As a father,
Yeah.
you make mistakes. As a brother, as a sister.
Yeah.
And it feels like family.
Every time that I've ever had a career-oriented conversation with you, it always family always comes up in that conversation. So how have they inspired you?
You know, I have a wonderful family. My wife Brooke and my son. I have 3 children. My son Chase, Alea, and then I have a new baby girl who's 1.5, Isabella. They all inspire me.
What's your spread? Give me the oldest.
17, 13, and 1.5. Yes. So yeah, and that's it, definitely. But
he says.
They inspire me every day. I have such a great family. They're supportive of me. I mean, do we not have difficult times? Sure we do. We're a Lavini family. A little loud in my household. I'm kind of a loud guy, so we get a little loud from time to time, not in a playful, fun way. But I wouldn't want to have any other family in the world. I have the most chaotic but loving, caring family. My 2 oldest help with our baby. My wife she's amazing.
Yeah.
She wears so many hats, so many days, and puts up with my craziness from day to day. And
I don't know how she does it.
I don't know how she does it. I'll be honest with you, she is a blessing, and I'm very lucky. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
But beyond measure. For me to be able to take on the roles that I'm doing and the challenges, you know, she's always been really supportive. But how they're influenced by me really is, I think they see that what kind of effort, blood, and sweat, and tears that I put into something. I think that has shown my kids. Last year, my middle daughter, Alea, she had one of the best years in school last year with focusing and putting that blood, sweat, and tears into that. And same for my son. You know, he made National Junior Honors last year. So proud of him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's a senior this year, and very impressed with him. And we bought him a vehicle, and you know, he's just doing very well.
Yeah,
all of them are. So I think that's how, I guess maybe without them saying it, how I inspire them, because they say, well, if Dad can put that much effort into something, you know, so can I to get that, you know. Reach those goals.
Yeah,
you know?
That's awesome.
I think recently my son was talking about a 401k, and he's 17 years old.
Yeah.
How can I invest? I said, what do you want to do? He said, at some point I'd like to own a couple properties for rentals. And I'm like, I wasn't thinking about that at 17. No. So kudos
Not
to
even
him.
remotely close to thought going through my head.
When the chicks see that we have our own car, it won't even matter if it runs.
Super blessed for all of them, and couldn't ask for a better household. And support.
That's awesome to be able to have that inspiration on the home front. It's pretty cool.
It is, and I'll tell you what that does is what you bring to work every day.
Yeah.
I mean, just being honest with you, right? Without them, I probably wouldn't be sitting right here with you. You know, a lot of support and helping me through everything and asking advice and. When things are tough, you know, and hey, at the end of the day, we're all, you know, if you're a dad, you might have had a rough day, but that one hug from your son or your daughter at the end of the night to tell you they love you can make an impact for the next day.
Yeah.
Get up and do it again.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'll give you one. Like my daughter, this was a few weeks ago, but you know, I leave because I get up here at least once a week, if not what's been the past few weeks, multiple times a week. And my oldest daughter said something to me that kind of changed my perspective on that last moment, which is I was saying goodnight to her. And she was like, what time are you leaving in the morning? And I was like, super early. I won't be able to see you in the morning. and she begged me to come in and wake her up and give her a kiss. Bye. And I was like, sweetheart, it's early in the morning. She was like, well, I don't care. I just want to say goodbye to you.
Awesome.
And it was that aspect of like, I hadn't looked at it obviously from her perspective, but I also hadn't looked at it from my perspective, because that last moment that I literally have my bag on my back as I reached down to give her a hug, and every morning is the same. Bye, Dad. Have a good day.
I love it.
Half awake, falls back asleep, but I carry that moment with me at least for half the drive.
It's beautiful.
That first half that struggles, like it's changed it. Sorry.
No, you're good. I can recall a moment when we were coming to Charlotte a few travel times, and my daughter, same thing. You know, she said, "Dad, you got to go." I said, "Yeah, I got to get up. 4:30, 5 o'clock." Had in, so 2.5, 3 hour drive for me, and I would make my lunch or something like that, and she wouldn't tell me. She'd just say, "All right, I hope you have a good day." And I said, "Well, I don't want to wake you up." Well, I would get in the truck and open up my bag, grab a water or whatever I'm drinking or something, and she would have slipped a note in there. Oh, great. I've got all those notes too. Oh, that's awesome. Dad, have a good day. I love you. Yeah. And even if she had school, so she took the time to quickly do a little note, put it in my lunchbox, and just, that's amazing, man. Those moments, like you said, it might be just for a short period of time.
Yeah.
And of course, the excitement when you get home. Dad, you get my note? And I was like, you surprised me today. That's amazing.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I don't know what it was that I wouldn't have done it before. It was like almost like I didn't want to inconvenience her by waking her up.
Sure.
I didn't want to inconvenience me by slowing me down, getting out the door. But it's like that little moment is more impactful for both her and me than I ever gave it credit to. So it's pretty cool to have.
You'll remember that.
All right. Speaking of inspiring others, real quick answers here.
Okay.
Hit me with, if I'm a tech right now in the field.
Okay.
What's one thing that I could do better to work with phone sales and inside sales?
One thing to do definitely is reach out if you have questions about a potential customer, asking those questions.
Yeah.
And giving knowledge to the customer there to make sure we're giving every single customer options and more than just one.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's really important. I'm a phone call away. Reach out to me, every day, whatever you need.
Do you like conversations sometimes, like prep conversations before calls, debriefs after calls?
Yeah.
What's the best way to get advice? What advice do you like to give?
Yeah, absolutely. So if a technician's got a specific situation and that customer or whatever that looks like is looking a free estimate, I like to talk to them a little bit beforehand, kind of get a feel of what that customer's thinking about as I'm working on my end and doing a load calculation and everything and getting it prepared. And then I love a debrief after if that customer needs time or whatever that looks like, or rather moving forward. I like to talk to them, to the technician, once they've hit the road again. Hey, how did you feel like that went? Did I not say enough? Or I want to grow with the technician together. We should be one when we're on the phone. I like a little bit of mixture of both.
Yeah. Okay. So communicate.
Communicate. That's it.
Is somebody who has excelled as an LM, who's somebody who's excelled in sales, and somebody who's now excelling in phone sales.
Thank you.
What's one piece of advice that you would give? I forgot to say, and excelled as a tech. And excelled in HVAC.
Thank you.
What is one piece of advice that you would give, to the new apprentice?
Wow. Probably the best advice I'd give is get up every day and do your best to take care of each customer one at a time.
Yeah.
I just think that's very important. Listening, communicating, fostering communication, taking care of each customer as throughout their day.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's huge.
Serve the message.
Serve the message. Yeah. It's important. Very important.
Yeah.
It is to me.
Should we go out with a coordinated woo and a little dance?
Woo in the dance? Yeah, I can. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Yeah. No, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only first bearded edition of Brandon Brinkley. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Woo! like this. You got to do the hands up.
And then the thumbs are tucked back.
Thumbs are tucked back.
Woo! Oh my gosh.